So you're like working it from the outside in.
Yeah.
Like you learned all the tricks of the trade and then did your own thing.
Yeah. But it still
That's
was
the way
just
to
an
do it.
accident. Like Dope Kitchen was an accident. I was just like, at the beginning of the pandemic, I was high and bored and very sad. So, so I was like,
That tracks for everyone during the pandemic.
Yeah.
I like you better when you're high. 'Cause when you're high, you never make me cry.
Hello everyone and welcome back to Arend's channel and welcome to a new episode of Watch In Sesh, the show where the show where you watch me sesh with an assumingly cool person. And you can sesh along if you want to, but you don't have to. Today's guest is none other than Nicole from Dope
There's
Kitchen.
just so many reasons why I like you better when you're high.
Pretty good. I'm chill.
It's so good to have you here. So that's yours.
Okay.
I'll take it from you when you're done. Or, oh no, I get my own personal purple bong. So, gentle cheers.
Cheers.
Let's not break this one. You did tell me you have a
I'm clumsy.
bit of a proclivity to breaking bongs, which could be concerning.
Yeah.
But yeah, cheers, Nicole. Thanks for coming all the way out here.
All right. How does this?
There you go.
There
Yes,
we
yes.
go.
And then you light that first. Now turn that upside down really quick like this. There you go. And look at it. And now, yep. Light a little. Yeah, you're good. You could have gotten a little more fuego in there. We're retutorializing Nicole.
It's been a while.
on the
I've
bong
hit
rip.
maybe 7 bongs in my life.
Really?
Yeah.
And so tell everybody what your main form of consumption is, and I'll.
I love smoking joints, and I like to pack a little bowl every now and then, and that's pretty much it. I don't own big glass pieces.
Here we go. I love a good joint. I wish if we had papers, I would say we could smoke a joint right now. So Nicole, about you, for those people who don't know, you are a TikToker. Would you primarily categorize yourself as a TikToker over everything else?
Yeah, I guess that's my biggest platform, so yes.
Happy April 20th. Nothing significant about this day. Let's make my favorite munchies. Nachos, bitch. You gotta get deep in there to get a good one.
That's
'Cause
my
I see you
biggest
everywhere.
platform.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm all over Instagram stories. I'm an Instagram storyer.
You really are. You have like a Monday Q&A.
Yeah, I
And
didn't do it today though.
Oh, well, that's a bummer.
know.
You had a busy day.
Yeah.
It fills up, and I imagine, as all of the people who look at them do, I sit there and read and watch every response that you give. So, because you are so good at like, what's the word for like what artists do or like art directors do? They curate. You're so good at curating like responses to people's questions in your Monday things. You do a really great job with
Thank
that,
you.
and I'm always like highly entertained by it.
Thanks. I try to make people giggle, but I also try to make people feel a little inspired and feel a little less alone. So,
Totally. When you got started making weed content, did you have any prior knowledge of anybody else doing weed stuff in the world at all?
No, I became a content creator accidentally.
Okay.
It
Tell
was
me about
At
that.
the beginning of the pandemic, you know, we were all depressed and alone, and I lived alone in a tiny studio apartment. So I needed something to do to get myself out of bed because I was horizontal for all day long.
Were you working from home?
I was
and all
working from
that?
home, but I work in marketing, so my job just kind of was on pause for a minute.
Okay.
Nobody was spending money on marketing at the beginning of the pandemic when
Right.
everything crashed. So I had a lot of free time.
Just toilet paper.
Just toilet paper skyrocketed those stocks. So I just needed something to do to get out of bed. I got high, I baked a pie. I filmed it. I only shared it with my close friends, and they encouraged me to post it on TikTok, and I did.
Did
And
that specific video do really well, like the first one?
It didn't do really well, but it got maybe 18,000 views in 6 hours.
That's
which
not bad.
Not
That's very
bad for
good
the
on-
beginning of TikTok at the beginning of the pandemic. So people just kept asking for more videos, and people said, please make this a series. This is so funny. So I did, and a few days later I came up with the name Dope Kitchen.
What was the app before?
It was Nicole Bakes Baked. It
Okay.
was like, it was too much.
That's cute, but
Yeah,
yeah,
it's
it's too.
cute.
I think Dope Kitchen works really well.
Yeah, my friend came up with a name.
Okay.
And I asked him for a list of names to help me just think of some way to brand what I
Yep.
was doing. And as soon as Dope Kitchen left my mouth, I knew that was the one.
That's the one.
Yeah.
I relate to your story so much because when I first started on YouTube, I was trying to be a singer. I went to college for opera performance, and my whole thing was like, I'm going to be on Broadway. I'm going to be the male gay Christina Aguilera. I'm going to wear midriff cut shirts. and dance around on stage, it would have been sickening, bitch. But another lifetime, another time, that didn't end up happening. But I randomly, amongst making all these singing videos and like somewhat trying to do comedy with my roommate at the time, and I was just like made a video for how people to smoke weed out of a pipe, because I remember the first time I had smoked and how hard it was. And little did I know that one video that I uploaded in 2017 would get 1 million views, and it would be like the deciding factor of like, because at the time I was just like, I am a pothead. I don't need to make content about it. It's just part of my life. And then I did, and it worked. So another thing that I really love about you as following you, because you know, I came across you, full transparency, this is how I found you. The Weed Tube team was like, we need TikTokers to work with because it's the platform, it's what's emerging, and we want to work with people. And so the team put together like a list of a bunch of people. And I just remember one night watching a bunch of TikToks, and you were like halfway down the list, and you came up, and I was like, oh my God, I love her. And it wasn't just like, it was you and one other person that really got me, and it was Darcy Michael. And I just, both of you guys, I was just like, I love them. It's not just like I wish they were on WeedTube, it's like I love following their content. And like, I love also that you are really good, because I feel like I struggle with, but just showing the diversity of who you are as a human being versus just being like, I just smoke weed and that's all I'm giving to the world. You're like, I am this, I am this, I am this. And I love that you are able to like effortlessly convey all of those things to your audience.
I feel like I was able to do that because like my rise on social media happened so quickly. I didn't have time to like figure out a strategy of how to communicate to people about who I was, or figure out like what I wanted to hide or what I wanted to show people. I was just like, this is fun. I guess I'm just going to show who I am on my Instagram stories, whether people like it or not. And I just didn't really have a strategy. And I think looking back, there are times that I definitely overshared. And I think now I have a little bit better of a grasp on like how to balance what I want to share versus what I want to keep private. But I feel like TikTok launching people into these like big careers as social media content creators in such a short period of time kind of forced this more like genuine style of influencer to be born.
Bring any Kodiak cake snacks?
I didn't, I'm sorry.
Because everything you make with Kodiak cakes, because I love Kodiak cakes.
I love them
pancakes,
too. Oh.
Everything you make, I'm like, always showing to my partner like, we gotta do this.
The ice cream that I just made. It was
ice
really
cream,
good.
and didn't you just make waffles?
They have a frozen waffle product now, and it smells amazing. The blueberry kind specifically, that's the only one I've had, but it smells incredible.
And they have something with confetti?
They have like a confetti cake ball type of like protein power ball or something.
Is it good?
I haven't tried it, but I've seen the product.
Okay. Yeah. You know what? You're rolling into so many of my questions for you that were supposed to be for the second half.
Okay.
But since it's happening now, I want to ask you some of these questions. So my first question is, do you ever make any bad food?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Okay. Like what's the success percentage rate?
I'd say like 70% is successful.
Okay.
But there are times when I try to make something with whatever is left in my pantry, and I might have an ingredient that is just slightly off. Like for example, I've tried to make a meat sauce for pasta with diced tomatoes instead of tomato sauce, and it's just nasty.
Okay.
It doesn't have the right texture at all, but I was desperate and I had nothing else in my home.
Have you ever posted a recipe that didn't actually turn out good? Like, have you ever filmed something and then like it wasn't very good, but you're like, I still need to post this?
I did post like a chicken nugget recipe maybe 2 years ago, and it was coated in falafel mix from Trader Joe's, but I was honest about how shitty it was in the video.
Okay.
Because I think like it's important to show the fails.
I'm not
lying about my food being good. My food is good unless it's not, and then I'll say that it's
definitely not. Sometimes you do. Like I've heard you like say like this is not something. Like I've heard you do that.
I oversalted this.
Yes.
I do that a lot because I'm very heavy with the salt.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm honest about the mistakes that I make, but I don't think there's ever been a recipe that I've posted that I've pretended was good, but it was actually bad.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's your favorite seasoning?
I mean, maybe smoked paprika, but I feel like that's pretty basic.
No, that's good. That's a good one too.
Za'atar.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like paprika as well. Okay. Definitely cumin.
Cumin
Love
is great.
cumin. What is the secret? And I'm assuming you know this, so there's no pressure or anything. Asking for me, what is the secret to eating great food and staying in good shape? Because I, Nicole, love food.
I do too.
And I am pleasantly plump right now. I'm also very busy, and I did this horrible thing after the pandemic where I was like in the best shape of my life right before the pandemic, and then when the gyms reopened, I was like, I'm gonna bulk, and so I just started eating heavy and lifting heavy, and then I gained a bunch of muscle, but then I stopped going to the gym because I got really busy, and then the dietary remained eating.
Yeah.
How do I have my cake and eat it too?
I think it's just prioritizing both eating healthy and working out. Like if you don't have your priorities straight, then neither of those things are going to happen. There are times when I deprioritize the gym or I deprioritize healthy eating, and after maybe 3 or 4 weeks of deprioritizing one of those things, I start to feel really sluggish and I start to feel really shitty. And I think about what my current behaviors are, and I realize like, oh, I'm not going to the gym, or I'm not eating well enough. I'm eating pizza and cookies every single day.
Because you do notice, like this, we notice, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like if you go long enough and you've done it really well, like healthily for a while, I notice when I fall off the wagon, like
absolutely.
my body starts to.
Yeah, I start to feel like shit and I start to feel depressed.
Yeah.
So it's like during those moments of depression, if I realize that it's because I'm not doing anything physical for my body, or I'm not eating vegetables and
Putting good things into your body.
Yeah, exactly. Then I start to feel really shitty, and that's when I have to just deprioritize other things like socializing or certain projects that I might be working on, just so I can get back in a healthier state of mind.
That's really good advice, actually. It's not necessarily about you have to constantly change things up. It's just about looking at your priorities and putting them in specific places at certain times. I feel that way heavily about like the not feeling great noticeably way, like alcohol for me. Like I'll drink once a month, but for me it's like I notice the next day.
Yeah.
100%. And so people who drink frequently, I'm like, you don't even notice how bad you're making yourself feel day in and day out, because I notice after one day that I'm just not my happy self.
Right.
Significantly.
I feel that way about weed too sometimes. Like I take frequent breaks from cannabis because I know when I'm using it just to kind of numb my feelings, and then I know when I'm using it just to relax and have fun. And if I feel like I'm steering too far into the numbing direction, then I need to give myself a break and take at least a week off just to clear my mind again.
That's 100% such a good thing to do. I am habitually addicted to cannabis again after taking 6 long months off. It's tough because I love weed. I love how it makes me feel. I love it for work. When I'm sitting at my desk and working, and if I smoke, I am the most focused person you've ever met. I can produce everything. But if I'm sober, I'm like very ADHD all over the place. It's hard to like pin me down. So weed just works really well for me, but I definitely feel like I need to evolve my relationship with it better to where I can take more breaks and should. Because I felt good during that 6-month break. I was cooking like 5 days a week, and we'd like order food maybe twice a week. Then I started getting really busy, and by like the time it's time to make dinner and everything, I'm like, I just want to sit down, or I still have emails to do. So we did sign up for HelloFresh, which has been 50-50, good and bad.
Yeah, it's not the best. I did a review of all of the services last year, like the meal delivery services. I would say Blue Apron is pretty good.
Okay.
If you like vegan food, Purple Carrot was actually my favorite by far out of all of the services.
Okay. I do like a little meat.
Yeah. And Marley Spoon, which is Martha Stewart's company.
Love Martha Stewart.
Yeah.
Martha Stewart is a dream guest to have on Watch In Sesh one day.
Absolutely.
Like when we're in a TV studio and it's the whole thing, and we'll have you back too. We can do a whole cooking segment with you, me, and Martha.
Oh my God, that's
Can you
a dream.
imagine? I love Martha Stewart so much. I listen to her podcast. Martha, if you're watching, please come on Watch In Sesh and smoke some weed with me.
Because HelloFresh sucks.
HelloFresh, tiny portions.
Yeah.
Both times I try to do pasta, it comes out looking brown, not red like the picture. Not happy about it, super.
A brown pasta sauce does not sound appetizing.
No, it hasn't been. So Blue Apron, you say?
Blue Apron was pretty good.
I'll try Blue Apron.
Yeah.
Because I like that it gets, everything is right to me, and I just take 30 minutes and cook it. But yeah, I do love to cook. How often do you cook?
If I'm being good about making content and like being healthy for the week, then I'll cook every single day.
Okay.
And maybe I'll order 1 meal a week or go out once or twice a week, but pretty much every day. But then there are times when I feel really burnt out with making content and with cooking in general, so I will order food for 4 days straight for at least every meal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally. It's so interesting that it's like food is your content, right? Because I understand the content burnout thing, but applying it in my mind to it being like not wanting to cook dinner because of burnout, that's like a double suck. You know what I mean? Because sometimes you already don't want to cook dinner because you're tired.
Yeah.
And then you're like double burnt out because you're like, I cook dinner for a living.
Yeah.
I don't want to fucking cook dinner right now.
It's exhausting.
That sucks. How do you approach weed on TikTok? What's been good for you?
Oh man, I have to be very discreet, like ridiculously discreet. So if I want to show any smoke in my video, I'm like completely off camera, blowing smoke into the direction of the camera.
Okay.
And I feel like that's been okay. I try to use code words as much as possible, but I used to be able to be a little bit more open about it at the very beginning of my TikTok journey. I feel like I could say edible or I can say THC in a video and it wouldn't get taken down.
Yeah.
But then they really started cracking down on weed content. I have an account warning on my TikTok right now, so
I was gonna ask if you know anyone at TikTok, like if you have a good relationship.
I have a relationship with someone at TikTok who's supposed to be like my TikTok rep, but she never answers my emails. Like they don't give a fuck. So
that's a bummer to hear. I thought they were taking better care of their people than like other platforms.
I've heard that internally it's just a little bit of a mess, like as an employee of the company. So
what's on your For You page?
It's a lot of dogs.
Okay. Because you dog sit a beautiful dog named Olive.
Yeah, she's a Bernese Mountain Dog. And I dog sit 2 pit bulls as well. I'm dog sitting them this coming weekend.
Okay.
And they're my babies. I love them. So yeah, a lot of dogs, a decent amount of food content, some outdoor content. I feel like I don't get any fun drama. Like, I don't get any fun drama on my For You page, but I do get a lot of lesbians.
Okay.
Because I think TikTok wants me to experiment with women.
Okay.
But
how are we feeling about this on your Kinsey scale? We're maybe, we're no.
I'm on Field, the dating app, and it's like a sex positive dating app, and I'm open to women, and I would like to explore, but I'm also looking to explore literally anything right now. So.
I love that. Yeah, everything you follow Nicole on her Instagram. I just love everything you stand for. I'm just always there with you, except for when you said something about winter and summer, and I was like, Nicole, no, this is unacceptable. But I don't remember what it was.
California winter.
Yeah.
But I did say that I get more seasonal depression in the summer because it's just too dang hot.
Totally.
Yeah.
Totally. And I was telling Nicole, I was like, I live for the winter. I need snow. And we were all having that argument in here the other day about living in California. I'm like, why would you live in California? They're like, the weather's perfect. I'm like, you don't have snow. The weather's not perfect.
Yeah.
I want to go in my front yard in snow. You know what I mean? I want to build snowman and put a picture of Shia LaBeouf's face on it and pretend it's my husband for the week. Yeah.
Nice.
Attractive Shia LaBeouf.
Yeah.
Not unattractive Shia
Yeah.
LaBeouf. My For You page is mostly gay stuff, really crude humor.
Yeah.
And lots of things that the top comment is commenting on this to stay on this messy TikTok.
Oh, yeah.
That's mostly my TikTok For You page.
Oh, the one piece of drama that I've come across recently is this girl who has started to message the husbands.
Yep.
Okay.
I've seen those.
Do we like that woman for what she's doing? I can't tell like if the internet is on her side or against her. I, from a fundamental level, don't believe in monogamy. Yeah. So I would not be the proper person to weigh in like how the majority of the culture feels about it. But I, from the jump, think that you should not be restricting your partners because it leaves better opportunities for discussion about things open rather than telling someone they can't do something. Say, if you ever feel you need to do something, let's talk about it is better. Mm-hmm. I'm just not for the bait and hook thing. I'm for like the changing of it. But otherwise, I mean, if you're in a monogamous relationship and you agree to it, then don't be doing nothing wrong. Yeah. At the same time. Yeah. How do you feel about it? So I am currently in what I'd like to call my sexual renaissance. Okay. Love that for you, Beyonce. So I'm kind of trying to explore ethical non-monogamy right now as a single woman. So a huge reason why I'm on Field is just to explore my sexuality a little bit more. And just get to know people who are in very different kinds of relationships that I never thought I would be in. Like 100%. Connecting with couples, connecting with people who have multiple partners, and being so open about it too. I've had so many conversations with people who are like, well, here are all of my other partners, and here's the type of relationship I have with them. Like, what are you looking for? And it's kind of refreshing to be able to talk so openly about like the other people that we're fucking, or like what we're interested in, or how one partner can satisfy a certain area of your life and another partner can satisfy something else. It's really eye-opening, and I really admire people who have multiple partners for how well they communicate.
100%. I have been non-monogamous for a very long time, had different relationship situations, and I think when you realize that there's never going to be one person who can fill all of your needs, and because we are complex people with lots of needs, but if you can find a person who fills all of your emotional needs and makes you feel valid in that way, and another person who loves your career and gets behind that and supports you in a different way with that, and you can find these different people that fulfill your needs, and there's like a spark for sexual connection, it is literally the dopest thing in the world. And it's not always going to be pretty, but human relationships are meant to be memorable things that don't always need to be pretty. You know?
We have so many holes, and one person can't fill them all at the same time.
Period, Nicole.
Yeah.
All right, and with that, we'll go on a break, and we'll be right back with a little game. What's up, everybody? Hello from Grand Lake, Colorado, where I am currently celebrating some amazing successes with the Cirrus team. I'm here to tell you all about this vape. This Cirrus branded vape came from a company called vapedepartment.com. If you have a business and you're looking for custom branded vapes, custom branded carts, it's not just the pen that I'm talking about, it's this Cirrus branded vape that I got from vapedepartment.com. If you have a business that's looking to white label vapes as promotional content, or you want to white label carts so that you can have your own brand of oil within them, I highly recommend working with vapedepartment.com. I've worked with this company for many, many years, and all of Cirrus's vapes will definitely be coming from vapedepartment.com. So check them out and tell them Aaron sent you. Cheers. All right, so we're going to be playing a little game I like to call Pot Heads Up. I'm sure you've heard of the normal game, Heads Up. I play in a very competitive stoner league of Heads Up with my friends that gets sometimes bloody. There's definitely screaming at the top of lungs. No one can talk the next day. It's wild stuff, and I'm searching the world for my best stoned Heads Up partner. So we're going to play a little round. Each of us is going to get a turn. We're going to see if you can beat out the current high score of 12 for both rounds total.
Okay.
And if you are, then you'll have to be my partner in the championship league of Pot Heads Up.
Okay.
You've chosen the category the 90s. Would you like to head first, or would you like me to head first? Would you like to give head first, or would you like me to give head first?
You can give head first.
All right, I will give some head. I'm going to pick up just the whole pile here. Okay. Joya will let us know when we've got 60 seconds on the clock. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Do you have any questions?
No.
The category is the 90s.
Okay.
Okay.
And I'm giving you clues.
Yeah,
right
what's
now.
your birthday?
April 15th, 1991.
Oh, this is going to be terrible. You're in Aries. This is going to be terrible.
I don't know what that means. I'm
I'm
not an astrology chick.
I'm married to one. It's going to be
Okay,
terrible.
okay.
We can have very romantic and passionate lovemaking, but communication.
Oh yeah.
Not on the
I'm
same
not
level.
the best communicator.
It's an Aries thing. Like,
Yeah, I know.
it's just because I'm married to one, you know? I just know. Okay, it's really funny too, because if you look up like zodiac signs that should not be in romantic relationships, number one is like Cancer and Aries, and here I am.
Oh,
and
jeez.
here I am, I know. Okay, you ready?
3,
Okay.
2,
2.5.
1.
Oh, slap it. Bandit. I don't remember what they're called. Wrist. You can talk.
Can
you
I?
can yeah.
Oh, it's the thing on your wrist that you.
But I can't remember what it's called. Slap it.
It's like so basic.
Stick it?
It's exactly
Skip.
what. Oh, Jesus. Okay, it's the desktop computer.
Mac.
No, it's the software.
Windows. 95.
Yes. It's a TV show with a gay roommate, and the woman has red hair.
Will and Grace.
Yes. They're all wearing different colored costumes, and they fight and do ninja things, I think.
Street Fighter.
No, it's okay. Okay, they're all in different colored costumes, but they have shapes coming out of their...
Teletubbies.
Yes. They're sisters and they are identical. Oh, it's over.
It's over, okay. The Olsen twins.
Yeah.
Teletubbies right after Power Rangers. They're also.
What was, how many did we get? 3, okay.
Oh God.
All right. If I can get us 10 or more, that's okay.
We played silently the other night, so.
Yeah, no. You are fully allowed to talk.
Okay.
Really good with that though. I knew
Yeah.
What is it called?
Yeah.
Slap bracelet.
Yeah, it's so
she was
simple.
Like, it is so basic.
Yeah.
Damn. Okay.
Okay, ready?
Yeah.
Ready.
3, 2, 1.
It's the movie I was talking about where they're cutting it up out there and there's dinosaurs and it's
Jurassic
Yes.
Park? Okay.
The first cut is the deepest.
Oh, Sheryl Crow?
Yes. When you stomp on your shoes and they go blip,
Heelys?
skip. It's gonna be
Okay.
hard to get you to say that. Sir Mix-a-Lot's most famous song about butts.
I like big butts and I cannot
But
lie.
what's it called?
Oh, fuck.
Not child has
Baby
chest.
got back.
Yes. And I can't sing it. Whitney Houston's
Shania
most famous song.
I Will Always Love You?
Yes.
Okay.
The movie of Keanu Reeves where they're.
The Matrix.
Yeah. Don't want to be an American idiot. Yes.
Green Day?
Yes.
Green Day.
Yes.
Okay.
The animals, they're like stuff. They had the television show, and everyone has
Oh.
a different thing on their stomach.
Beanie Babies.
Okay.
Did I get it?
Care Bears.
Oh, Care Bears.
Great job.
Yeah,
many was
that's
that?
good.
9 total.
Oh, so 12.
Wow.
You guys were tied.
9 total.
Oh, 9 total.
Total.
High five, 9 total.
Not bad.
That's good. That's
Okay.
good. Okay. Thank you for that. That was very fun.
Yeah. Are there questions here that I can ask?
No.
Oh, okay.
No. Do you want me to give you questions to ask me?
Sure.
Ask me what it's like to be Madison Beer on the inside, but on the outside to look like a 6-foot tall velociraptor of a man.
Okay.
Great question, Nicole. Terrible. It's terrible. It's awful. What did you want to be when you grew up when you were a little kid?
An interior designer.
Shut up.
Yeah.
And you are so good at it.
Thank you. Oh my God, tell that to my dad.
I will. What's his name?
Anthony.
Anthony. She's really good at interior design.
Or maybe it's my dead aunt who said that I shouldn't be an interior designer. I don't remember.
All right, well,
but
we can get out the Ouija board. I'll talk to that bitch too. Sorry, bitch with love, Aunt.
Bitch with love.
You are really good at it. I would love to have you come to Denver and see my club before we do all the decor and
Fuck
get your
yeah.
thoughts on it.
Absolutely.
Because you are great. My whole thing is that I keep telling the interior designer that I'm working with. I don't know if you've ever seen on Discovery Plus High Design.
No.
It's a show, and Kim Miles is their designer, and I'm working with her and Kelly, who both work on that show. And I keep telling them, I'm like, I want anywhere you take a picture from anywhere in there to be like Instagram pretty in the back. That's my goal, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But also I don't want it to be like dark and dungeony, like most kind of smoke clubs are, like leather and dark and stuff like that. I want to bring more like brightness and color and floral opportunity
Mm-hmm.
into the space.
I think that's a great idea because I feel like people have this perception that if you're a stoner or if you're consuming cannabis, you're doing it in like a dark basement
Secret.
playing like video games and eating Cheetos. I feel like the whole point of my content is to teach people that you can be a stoner and be like the total opposite of the stereotype of being a stoner.
100%.
And maybe like designing a space in a much brighter, more fun way, especially with florals and bright colors, and not making it dungeony will kind of alter the perception of what it means to
I feel like that is my ultimate life goal, and maybe you can relate to that a little bit, is to change the perception of what it means to be a stoner.
Yeah.
That's like that's all I want to do. Because it feels something amazing to have my father, who looked at weed as meth and never touched a drug in his whole life, be proud of me for what I'm doing in weed stuff, you know, and it's because of the perception change that I've helped him through. And so it feels really great to do that. Are your parents cool with it?
I was about to say that's the exact same story I have with my dad.
Okay.
My mom was much more open about it, and she followed me on my personal social media account before Dope Kitchen ever happened, and that's where I was originally posting my silly high cooking videos just to make my own friends giggle. And she loved those videos. She's my #1 fan.
Oh.
I don't know if she's had a relationship with cannabis in the past when she was younger, but she's open to it now, and she's like open to just letting me be me.
Okay.
So she never questioned what I was doing. She never made me feel bad about what I was doing. She was always there to cheer me on. But my dad, on the other hand, was a much harder person to convince that I'm okay
Yeah.
and like I'm doing something good.
Yeah.
He also viewed weed as like meth, and would not touch it, would not talk about it, and it was hard to get through that rough period at the beginning of my dope kitchen journey when I had to basically convince him that like I'm not doing drugs, I'm not like an addict, I'm not like doing anything that's going to completely harm me or fuck up my life. Like I'm altering the perception of what it means to be a stoner by showing that I'm fucking active, I'm productive, I'm successful, I'm all of these positive things, and I happen to also smoke weed.
We love a positive word association with things that relate to cannabis. Good job on you. So he's around on it now,
Yeah,
or
he's had a couple of gummies.
okay.
Yeah.
Love that.
But he's much more supportive and like happy for me because I'm happy.
My dad smoked a fat blunt with me the day before he moved to Alabama.
Really?
Right outside the U-Haul truck, and he was so high. It was so funny. He had the best night, and we got a bunch of junk food, and they were like, "We're supposed to leave at 6 a.m., but I don't think I'm gonna be awake." He was just hilarious. So, and then he moved to Alabama, and I'm like, "Great job. Now you will smoke weed, and now you live in Alabama, where it could not be more illegal."
Yeah.
Because it's a different thing when you go from like just being a cannabis consumer in general and making content about it. Did he know you were cannabis consuming before you made content, or was it like both at the same time?
Making content was my coming out as a cannabis user moment with my dad. When I hit 100K on TikTok, my mom and I sat down and we were like, okay, we have to tell your father.
And he still didn't know?
He still didn't know, but we devised a whole plan
shit.
to tell my dad.
Oh my gosh.
And she was like, okay, you're gonna FaceTime us. I'm gonna pretend I have no idea what you're doing.
Oh, they're married?
Yeah.
Still? Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, I come from such a broken family that I'm just not used to parents still being married. It doesn't compute.
They're still married,
Yeah.
I know. But we told my dad together sort of over FaceTime, or my mom pretended not to know.
Okay. And he did not take
He
it
was
well
just
at
like,
first?
okay. Like that was basically his reaction, like, okay, cool.
I have 100,000 followers watching you smoke weed.
Yeah,
Great.
so proud of my daughter.
Yeah.
But he's come around.
Are you out of the weed closet at like your day job, whatever that may
They
be?
love Dope Kitchen.
They do? Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
They're very supportive of what I do.
That's very lucky, in the world that we work in, especially with like weed stuff. So that's very lucky.
Yeah.
I love that.
It's a very liberal place. I mean, I live and work in LA in the media industry, like digital media production.
Yeah.
Like everyone does drugs.
Yeah.
Like everyone.
Very true. And you're like, I'm just smoking some weed.
Yeah.
If you're gonna do any of them, that's the one to do.
Yeah.
And this is such a corny question, but from you, I really do want to know, who's your like ideal 4-person, you included, smoke sesh? Dead or alive, but
Oh.
such a corny question, but I want to know what your answer would be.
I've never really thought about it. The first thing that came to mind was my grandpa.
Oh.
Yeah. He died when I was 16, and I've been thinking about him a lot recently because I did LSD by myself last weekend.
Okay.
And I've been feeling this creative block, so I decided to get some canvases and paint, and I've never painted in my life, but my grandfather was an artist.
Okay.
He mostly painted, and I wanted to just challenge myself to do some form of art that I had never done before, just to kind of work through some of the things that I'm uncomfortable with creatively that have been blocking me from kind of making content and getting through a period of burnout. So I got naked as fuck, was listening to Krungbin and a bunch of other like cool music, and I started painting, and I just had such a beautiful time. And I thought about how crazy it is that I've gone 31 years without painting something, and I felt like I had this kind of natural talent.
Of course you do.
Thank
Like
you.
genetically, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's in you.
Yeah, and I wish I had started much sooner. And I just felt like so many things that I've done in my adult life would have made my grandfather so proud, and I've taken after him in so many different aspects of life. Like I was an athlete, I rode in college, and I got really into Olympic lifting and powerlifting as an adult. And my grandpa is the first person who taught me how to cook. So what I'm doing with food now, he would absolutely love. And
Would he smoke with you think?
probably, I don't know.
In the dream scenario, he has to because it's a sesh circle.
But yeah, and then I just started painting, and it was such a nice way to connect with my dead grandfather
I love
while
that
I'm on
for you.
LSD and painting for the first time.
I love that for you. I did LSD once. I don't think I'll be back down that train for a while. It was a wild ride. So your grandpa. Any other thoughts? My big one is Oprah.
Oh yeah, that would be good.
I would love to just, she feels totally comfortable. Nobody's going to see footage of her. She can just chill, smoke weed with Oprah Winfrey. That would be so wild.
I would maybe smoke weed with Barack Obama.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That would be fantastic.
I don't really think about famous people when I am asked a question like that.
Totally.
I've never really idolized any famous people to a point where I want to like invite them to a smoke sesh. I don't know.
Totally.
But there are a couple people that I would.
And I don't know if you'd be willing to do this because based on your comment about celebrities, but I was asking everyone to look directly into that camera and as wholeheartedly and sincerely as you possibly can, request that Seth Rogen come on Watch In Sesh.
Seth Rogen, I will suck your if you come on Watch In Sesh.
I basically said the same thing, but they said it was offensive.
Coming from a man is always good.
But it's a man to a man.
No, it doesn't matter.
Thank you, Nicole. That is exactly what was required in that moment. Thank you so much, Nicole, for being here. I appreciate it. Everybody, please follow Dope Kitchen on all the platforms. It's TikTok too, but especially your Instagram, because your stories give me
Instagram
life.
Stories, man.
There are very few people whose daily lives I can care about, and you are one of those people. So
Well,
I
thank you for
appreciate
watching,
that.
and thank you for having me. This was
Absolutely. And you can subscribe to Dope Kitchen on YouTube as well. We'll see you guys in the next one, and make sure to subscribe and leave a like and a comment and do all those things too that I have to ask for.